Thank you to my patrons Ethan and Clampin for making this video possible. What's going on YouTube? It's CALSOSCOPED back with another video. I'm going to be doing a breakdown of this Dejounte Murray project manipulation done in Photoshop. This is inspired by My Hero Academia or Boku no Hero, and I took a lot of elements from Hawks and put them together to make a realistic version of Dejounte Murray in an anime. First I'm going to break down the majority of the project time, Dejounte Murray, and just really making the mask of him. The original photo is right here. So from that original photo, just did a whole outfit change. With the pants, all I had to do was really use a gradient map, and then I adjusted it just to have some of the darker shadows and just to bring, you know, a difference so they look more cartoony. I always focus on making the shadows even darker and bringing out some of the highlights. I utilize multiply blending mode in black layers just to accentuate the shadows of the pants. And this gradient map was really clutch, going from a dark tan to a lighter tan over the period of this gradient map. The gloves on this piece were literally just a very dark gradient map once again, and I just colored only on the hands part. You can barely even tell that it was just a gradient map hands and not a texture or gloves added, just because you get that silky effect when you have just that slight little part at the end of the gradient map that's a little bit brighter than black, so that you get some of the highlights to come out. I had it rasterized, and when I would do the fingertips, I would make sure that the fingertips weren't seen, so I would just use my content aware. The visors, I just made a unique shape right here and put it on soft light over the top of him, and then I just made the outline. I outlined it in a darker tone so that you guys can see the distinct outline, so they look more like visors. This highlight was just a white layer, and it was just a really soft white layer like so. Esther jacket was a combination of about 3 different photos, and I'm just gonna have them playing. So this trim was from one photo that I used, and I just continued it to the sides. And I just used a hairbrush. If you guys have my concept art hairbrush, that's gonna always linked in the description below. You guys will easily be able to follow along the insides and see how that looks a little bit more rigid, and it looks more realistic as fur when you use that brush. The jacket was a multitude of different masks that I used, but it was all from one photo. So once again, this is the final, but let's go back to the start, the background, and I just have the mask really. Here's without the fire. I wanted him to be standing on a car scene, so here's that car scene, the original photo. You guys can just see how it was a bunch of cars. So I wanted to put him on top just like the girl was standing there that I masked her out. Just blend it to the background. I just made it darker. The red and blue haze, I knew that I wanted to go in with the red and blue, so you guys see the haze that is behind that, supporting it. This building here was nice because this gave you a little bit more perspective to see that, okay, there's stuff that's going off into the distance, and then this second building really pulled it together, the back building, because that's even further off in the distance, more blurred, and it also has a little bit of a difference, got a little yellow on there for highlight. Fire behind Murray is where this really started to come together. I was able to start adding lighting on, and it started to make everything just start popping. This fire element, normal fire, blurred out. And you know, you guys already know, you can get all the project files and the layers and all what I have here on Patreon. Then I add a red dodge layer, and this red dodge layer is just to attenuate the fire, make it like really, you know, immersive, you know what I mean? And then this is just a front flare, so this was a little effect that I used, nothing too crazy. This was just like a flare effect, just to add like an accent, give you that animation feel. And this was the fire in front. Red dodge, so I added a little bit more red linear dodge on a red tone. Once that was done, I went in and added my CCs, and these consisted of a lot of things to help this. You guys see how much of a difference from no CCs to CCs it had. First layer was the blue linear dodge, and this was just from the sky. So you see I lit up the sky, and then I lit up a little bit over here just to have a little bit of bounce light. Second thing was the color lookup, and then I just brightened up the image. Merged everything together and had the camera raw filter. Check out the camera raw filter, modern 10, basic camera raw that comes with everybody's Photoshop. Put the sharpening up, gotta boost the sharpening. Clarity, and then a little bit of color grade as well, just to get a little bit more, you know, in depth, make it look a little bit cooler. Once that was done, added some post CCs, including a vignette and a little bit of a yellow light right there. Thank you guys for tuning into this video of how I made this Dejounte Murray My Hero Academia Hawks design in Photoshop. It's been CALSOSCOPED. If you guys want to get this project file and see more in depth of how I created this, make sure you guys support me on Patreon. Link below. It's a low monthly fee that helps me out a lot and, you know, helps support the artist. With that being said, Let me know what you guys want to see next on the channel. Drop a like, share with a friend, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.